Winston Diva and the Tracer Sombra.
Yeah, look, we see a bunch of teams don't want to play Wrecking Ball on this map, especially against Orisa, because Holt is just painful to deal with. But Jinmu was waiting for that engagement. He knew the Gladiators would go aggressive, but to what degree is he going to be able to mitigate this dive? Getting rid of space after the D-Mech is huge, and he would have had to shoot for dinner there if that rocket were able to connect, but the sleep dart was good.
And they take too long to get rid of Gaga. That's really what kind of goes wrong here. It cleans up these kills.
Spice is one of the most aggressive Diva players in the league. He's been so good at diving and getting rid of those squishy backliners, but so far, it's not happening quite quickly enough. Shu just picks up Yveltal across the map there, and Gaga eventually falls. So Matt, the condition of getting rid of the Orisa early seems to be satisfied this time.
Yeah, I mean, Leave gets 2, but it's not going to be enough in this fight for Chengdu, as the Monk will drop down onto the point.
Winston live, allow him to go deeper than normal. And Matrix gets played, maybe just to try and get rid of the Winston, but it's a trade of kills, and Monk is the one that is removed from the Hunters formation. Jinmu's out of position now, he backs away, thinks about getting aggressive, but he knows that Yveltal has to leave him to go and heal up the frontliners in the absence of Monk, who's now brought back into the fight. Now Jinmu gets to go aggressive once more.
It was a bit bizarre. They ended up using the Supercharger in the Ant Matrix up on the high ground. So be a nano on the space as they're trying to hold on to the point. They know how difficult it is to flip.
Space heads for the stratosphere, but doesn't quite find his mark. Will the Muse able to dip a toe in and get overtime going, but this dive has got to be picture perfect. Muse doesn't quite land where he intended to and is out in the open, a little bit low. Shu trying to get there with a nano boost potentially to keep this Winston in position to do work. Lee falling at the start of the fight was handy. I think Space is able to find the dive in and get rid of him. He has been rezzed, but it's at the cost of Monk, who falls to the legs as Birdring returns on the Soldier 76. Despite this, Monk is going to fall. That's an even of the odds here for Muse, as the Primal Rage allowed him to get purchase on those key targets in the backline. Skewed shield is getting worked on for the time being, but Jinmu is able to get rid of Shu. The Ana is out of the picture now. Self-destruct makes a little bit of space here for the Gladiators, and the Hunters need to find another gear very quickly, but Gaga's so low. Leave needs to find yet another kill. Again, he's going to be called on to make the difference, and so he does. Skewed falls by the wayside. Leave finds yet another one, and the Gladiators are left with nothing but fumes. Now the Hunters can move into position, they retake, and it's going to be almost impossible for the Gladiators to do anything about it. On his own shoulders. Jinmu has a great fire around here, but it's going to be on the Sombra this time around. As we have Wrecking Balls from both teams.
And Jinmu's Sombra is a bit underrated. You know, when you actually kind of watch him play, very good positioning, always ends up with like hacks at the right time. The only difference between these two teams is you're going to have Leave continue to play the Hangzhou. So.
Okay, EMP comes out. He's able to avoid it there. Muse in space are hit by that EMP, but Birdrings is better by a long shot. The Transcendence, though, is still able to be used by Monk. He plays safely enough to get the healing when it's needed most. And this results in a trade of kills. Muse across the Shu across the map, is going to find Monk, and Kempster needs to find a stick in the bomb. He gets rid of Yveltal. Even if it wasn't a stick, the Brig could not escape. There was no shield bash available after the bomb had come down. And so the Gladiators...
He wasn't doing enough on the Hangzhou to keep going with it.
Space couldn't keep Shu alive. He tried to double back and give that defense matrix everything he had, but it wasn't quite enough here. Luzin and Zenyatta so early on in the fight here, the Gladiators are immediately in stall mode, and look at Lei Young, only has eyes for Monk, tries to keep him standing, but Muse makes it impossible with a pile driver. There might be something here. The hack on Lei Young, Muse has somehow stayed alive. He can find a health pack and return. Kempster also a safe spot there. No way that EMP was going to affect him. It does affect Shu, and Gaga makes sure that Zenyatta is turned into a pancake. But he doesn't quite get away with his life. It's going to be Space that runs him down. Muse pile driving on the point there, gets caught, and Kempster could be in trouble as well. Can he get away here? He heals back up, and there's a DMX situation, but the EMP comes far too late for the Gladiators to do anything with it.
Yeah, I'm a bit stunned they ended up using it there.
Hunters should be able to move back in and cap now after they deal with the pesky Diva problem, and so they do. One more fight for the Gladiators. Shu may have a chance to use Transcendence. It's going to be now, though. He's forced to pop it here and now. Lee finds a possible one. Skewed. He couldn't have been saved by Shu if he wanted to.
It's really that manual hack that you pointed out from Jinmu, which seals the...
Don't always see Fire Orisa, to be fair, in the last few weeks. So Shu sits back in the corner here, but Leave can make his way through just like this. Gaga's gone down already. Oh, yep. That's a tough one for Kempster. I haven't seen a direct deflect direct hit for quite some time, but last time it blew my mind. Leave is doing a lot of work here on the Genji. It does not matter what hero this guy is on. Birdring's in trouble, has to translocate out. The Hunters have a lot of space here and they're starting the cap.
They are taking just a ton of damage from Kevster, though.
It's so powerful against the Gladiator setup as well. I mean, Skewed needs to try and get mega airborne. I like that the Gladiators want to go aggressive early here, and Kevster uses the barrage. Lei Young is eventually going to deal with him, but it doesn't look like the Hunters are in any position to fight back to a greater degree than that.
No, I think if you're the Hunter...
He's in the catacombs there. But it's going to be the EMP coming out from Birdring first. The blade is still going to be used by Leave. Shu is taken down, and Muse also falling if Space doesn't get out of here. This could be seriously dangerous. The res is good, but Space is not able to get away after the D-suit. Great self-destruct kill on Jinmu, though. That is going to stop the Hunters' momentum and force them to pull the plug on this.
Or will it? They're going to get Muse as Muse goes in a little bit too far. That's going to be a primal now from Gaga as he's trying to trace down Kevster with it. Is it enough to keep going towards the point? They actually get a hack on a Birdring and take him out. This is definitely good for the Hunters.
There's something here, to be sure. Leave gets nano boosted again, this time not with a blade, but his team trusts him here. He lines up their headshots, and it's an easy pick off on Muse. It's getting scary now for the Gladiators. Can they stabilize once more? Monk's going to land a biotic grenade kill on Space from across the map. He was already de-suited, and Shu can't do a thing about this. Birdring on the Reaper guy, forced into Wraith Walk, but is immediately taken down. And Leave is just building yet another blade. It may not be required, though. Recall there from Kevster. He's trying to buy a little bit of time, but there's potential. This Pulse Bomb can find purchase and swing the fight. Muse is ready with the Primal Rage here, so there's stall mechanics are plenty for the Gladiators. The aforementioned bomb, though, goes straight into the Korean future Dyson. But Birdring's on the Doomfist now. Gaga gets ruined. The Hunters are running low on numbers, and Leave doesn't have a chance to pull the blade. The Hunters honest here. Monk not quite there with the nano boost, but Leave doesn't really need it. He's found one already. The Brigitte, he doesn't care. Skewed gets taken down. It looks like Gaga was there to help him out with that Primal Rage. Space is just self-destructing to get back in the mech, and so he's able to do so. But in the meantime, the rest of his team are struggling for numbers. Muse is already down. Space surely is going to be turned upon here. And the Hunters have the nano boost finally deployed on Leave. He's just going to finish the job now as another Kevster bomb is eaten by Lei Young. The diva play from this man has been sublime.
And they use the nano onto Leave twice after the blade comes through as the Gladiators coming out of the spawn trying to keep this going. Muse jumps over, contests the point. You're letting Shu build up towards another nano.
Birdring is hoping to find a kill on the Sombra with the Doom, but he's immediately blown up. Great follow-up there for Lei Young, who realizes that Jinmu was able to get out with a translocator. Another good biotic grenade here. Leave is in deep trouble. He's definitely dead to Skewed. 97% on the clock here, and Shu's able to deploy the nano boost to Kevster. Keep the Tracer alive. He slept, but of course he's going to be woken up very quickly. It's still not enough. There's so much damage available for the Chengdu Hunters, and he falls. Space, though, back in the fight, gets rid of Yveltal. Gaga slept in front of Shu here, and Monk is getting pressured. This is great awareness. A few individuals on the Gladiators this round would already been over. Kevster's got a Pulse Bomb there, but Leave is in with a blade, and Shu can't quite get away. Cut at the Achilles as he tried to flee to the safety of spawn. Birdring's Doomfist again continues to have an impact. Literally. And the Pulse Bomb from Kevster might be able to even things up here. It's just the Drakes for the Gladiators left here, but Rally is in play for Skewed. EMP comes out, but it won't stop that ultimate from giving that healing away. Skewed, his shield ran out. He couldn't protect himself against the self-destruct, but Muse comes in with a nano boost now. Lei Young will again be forced away. The Hunters are here in numbers, though. A huge biotic grenade there on Yveltal, and Monk couldn't get away. Birdring finds a crucial target at the start of the fight, and Leave is forced off the point by Space. The Hunters are going to have to... Oh, the bubble thrown out for Jinmu. Can it keep him alive? He's trying to get airborne, but he's chased down. Shu is just absolutely insane. What a brilliant performance from our MVP candidate here. The sleep dart on Jinmu opens up the opportunity to begin a fight. And the Gladiators want to clean things up now. Birdring goes down to Leave, though, and Gaga's brought back into the fight, so this needs to be ended pretty quickly. And the Gladiators know how to take advantage of the pick.
Yeah, they cannot fight this. Oh, well, you get rid of Space. Yveltal has the Valkyrie, good touch. I'm gonna say
this. Okay, Valk used by Yveltal here. It's Lei Young right now receiving administrations. and Jinmu has been removed. Space was able to find the Pharah once more, and looks like the rest of the Hunters are going to be chased out of town. It's just stall now for what Chengdu have remaining. Leaves able to find the Dragon, strike kill on Shu, who didn't have the mobility to get away from it in the best of times. But the Gladiators have their numbers, they have the position, they have the point.
Yeah, his Jinmu will switch as Leave just picking up some exit kills. Jinmu trying to get a Bareep. Maybe a hack from Jinmu. That'll be a difference.
A clean start to this fight. The map could be over already, but the EMP comes out here onto the front line. Lei Young's going to be desuited here, and Keps is looking to the point. He sees Monk is on his own, and it's 2 swings of the blade. He'll claim that kill. Okay, if Elrond dies to the Shuriken's a long range, Kepster doesn't seem surprised, but the rest of us definitely are. Now the numbers favour the Gladiators here on the point. The self-destruct will make the space, and Gaga somehow is peeking around the corner. It didn't look like he'd be affected by the blast, but he was. And the Hunters, number 1 main tank in the world, but he really has been building up ahead of steam. Now it's time to see the proof in the pudding, so to speak. Skewed is picked out of the mix very early by Jinmu here, but you gotta love that shot from Birdwing. A headshot on an airborne Pharah, and of course Shu's getting involved now. The teeth of the Gladiators starting to get bad.
You're going to lose Birdwing, though. It's a large source of damage, but may not matter as Kepster pushes on through, finishes off some players as Gladiators seem to...
I love that boot. Fantastic work to make it so the Gladiators couldn't benefit at all from that amp matrix. That I think was Jinmu's concussive blast, but follow-up, little limited. Shu's going to find a kill, of course, through that ultimate, but Jinmu wraps around and looks for a barrage. It's risky, but it pays off.
Yeah, and they're going to push on forward and finish off Skewed, so you will get a hold here for the Hunters.
And it also means the Gladiators can't really benefit from the immortality field. They're forced to step to the right to avoid the Dragon. The Hunters aren't able to capitalize on that, though, and Birdwing's able to sit back for long enough to pick Leave out at range. And Keps has been a factor in this backline the whole time, Matthew. With his composition that doesn't feature, Brigitte, Keps...
He's played Mercy at times. They're a team that can run this kind of composition and not miss anything on the Zen damage.
For the high ground, Leave is causing problems. Skewed cannot get away. Space, though, will go up there and accost him, but it's Jinmu removing Birdwing from the equation, so no Hangzhou zone right now. But Kepster is still an issue, right? I mean, he's able to get in and deal with Monk here so comfortably. Because the Hunters want that Mercy play to support Jinmu, they lack that backline durability. So they have to get more aggressive with the front line, and so they do. The Gladiators here look like they're going to be forced back once more.
As potential.
Space doesn't know about this. Yeah, he's going to be caught out of position just by trying to evade the Hangzhou. And Muse is the one that gets caught here. The bomb from Kepster, though, is good despite their transcendence in play. The Gladiators able to push up even further as a result of that Zen ultimate. And Kepster is not missing. Ruins Lei Young as he gets kicked out of the mech here, and that's what the Gladiators were looking for, Matt. They finally break on through.
3 or 4 times throughout this series. Eaten one of those pulse bombs. Is Skewed not able to make it out with his life. Lei Young follows it up.
What a talent this guy is on the flex tank. Unreal stuff. Nobody thought that he would so seamlessly fit into this role after the departure of Elsa. But I mean, Lei Young was just everywhere at once in that fight. Keeps Leave alive, then dives in and picks off Skewed. Now that's from Birdwing here. This is going to force the Hunters to give up a little bit of ground. Leave fires off a Dragon Strike of his own, but it's going to be Jinmu going down. Shu's going to be able to find the headshot on that kill. And here's the Transcendence now from Skewed. Things going from bad to worse for the Hunters. It's almost impossible for them to hold in this position. There's an air matrix in that back corner here, but Kepster makes it impossible to get the use out of it. Monk is picked off by Muse in the end. And with 20 seconds left, now the Gladiators go forward once more. The Genji has not really panned out at all for Jinmu. Maybe better than Pharah, but still not good enough. This team alive, and the Gladiators showcasing this very stalwart defense that we also saw on the Temple of Anubis, but I mean, that's great timing from Shu, the air matrix to pick off Yveltal and nowhere to run. This guy is just, I mean, it's just messed up.
They nano Gaga here. They want to continue to go for this. They nano Gaga.
A little bit haggard right now, but reinforcements are on the way. 2 ticks for Chengdu here. Off the back of Gaga's aggressive play. Space goes over the top here. Jinmu will be knocked out of position for the time being, but here comes the Dragon Strike. It's Leave that falls, though Space found his target. He made a beeline for Leave as soon as he got to the point. What a great defensive roster this is. The Gladiators able to spring back into control.
Yeah, and it was a halt as well.
Out of this Hangzhou at this time, are the Hunters. Kepster sees the Hangzhou. Can he get away? No! No chance, but Jinmu's barrage is going to be good for 2 kills. It's Skewed and Birdwing that both go down. The Resurrect is big here. Oh, it's so big. Yes, Monk might be down, but the numbers favor the Hunters here, and it's a brute force solution that gets them into capturing position. They've lost 2.5 minutes, Matt, but now they're going to be on the road. Behind like that. I mean, I'm curious to see where he'll try and set up. He's over the top for the time being here, and this is the great spot for Jinmu to be. I think that's undeniable. Shu is down, and it's the Wrecking Ball that finds the kill. Jinmu gets rid of Skewed, and there's no supports for the Gladiators.
Yeah, as Gaga got an angle, it was a bomb set up at the start from Late Young. The support line starting to
breather for the Hunters as Yveltal brings Leaf back into the fight. And again, they want to go forward. Gaga with a bomb play, he catches Muse out. This could be the Gladiators falling apart in a crucial hurdle, Matthew.
I mean, the ability to be able for Gaga to stay alive on his own when there's so many resources being put over towards Leaf. I know the Res, the Diva goes back for him. I mean, everything going towards Leaf. Gaga able to live on the point throughout all the players on the Gladiators and get a minefield off. And Jinmu and Gaga just get on top of Skewed and kind of negate the impact of the Discord. If they can't, it could go a lot like how it did in the first half.
That Dragon splits the front line from the back line 4 at a time. But there's nothing that can be done about it because Kevster controls the only route of flank that the Hunters have available to them. The only way they could have made use of the fact that the Dragon bisects.
But you see they're not able to play Zen Batiste, right? I mean, maybe they can, but not to the same level as the Gladiators, as this will be a Blade.
Monk gets blown over there by Kevster. He's going to be shield bashed, but he knows he can just commit, get rid of the brick hitter. 2 kills is going to be more than enough here. And the longer this fight gets staggered, the better it's going to look for the Gladiators, who have both support ultimates. Bangs map pick, but the Gladiators look teched to play it out. Far driver there from Gaga, but it's going to be Monk that falls over early. Muse somehow able to pick him out of the mix across the map. Birdring not in a great spot there. No chance to use the Dragon Strike quite yet, and Kevston needs to sheepishly back away from the break. Yveltal finally switches over with Jinmu going to the Sombra, but that switch comes far too late in the day for it to make any difference. Lei Young's going to be desuited, I guess right next to the pit, so he just falls and falls. And the Gladiators here.
Now they go back to the Zen look with Shu on the Zen and then Skewed on the break.
I mean, on the Zen, Shu has 4.9 final blows per 10 minutes. He's number 1 on that Zenyatta in that stat. He's also 21.1 defensive assists. So what's insane about Shu is that he doesn't sacrifice any healing to be a legitimate damage threat on this role. That is extremely notable. 2 of the most aggressive Diva players in the league. It helps them play fast with these comps. They don't have Lucio, Matthew. Here's a pile driver for Muse. Cowabunga, he says.
They don't get any follow-up, though, and now you're going to have a Nano on a Jinmu coming back. You have a sleep on a Muse. Chengdu can absolutely fight this. That'll be a manual hack on the space, manual hack on the Jinmu. Doesn't really matter. You'll have the cleanup crew showing up here for Chengdu. They will get back.
Player swing is usually dramatic enough to win the fight there and then. I mean, Space got manually hacked there. Great stuff from Leave. He really sets it up. He knows that Jinmu can go in, and unmitigated barrage damage on the back line is the order of the day. Great setup, and of course the res on Jinmu means it's a resounding victory for the Hunters in that fight. Another fight win for the Pen.
Dies yet again.
Leave looking for a manual hack again, won't find it. But the EMP is good. He's a little low, but being kept alive by Yveltal, who has great awareness to know that his Sombra is the centerpiece of that engagement, and Jinmu again gets to go and do his dirty work. Birdring is down. Birdring's had a very quiet one. So have all the Gladiators, in fairness. The Hunters bide their time. This is the must-win map for them here, Matthew, and my God, they're paving the way. Muse dives in, is going to be all on his own here, and slowly, ponderously, Skewed makes his way out onto the point. It's a pulse bomb that goes awry for Kevster. No connection there as Muse is again taken down. Monk might be missing, but the aggression is there for the Hunters. They've got the players here. They just need to get rid of Skewed, and they're going to be good. Space will try and stall here with the mech, and Birdring will jump in at the last second. He almost gets Yveltal, and Gaga's going to run away with the round. The Hunters with a stellar defense here on 66. Have to defend this card by being proximate to it. And then let's Leave wrap around. Oh, that shot would have been good, but Kevster with the 1-click. Okay, he opens up the account for the Gladiators in this fight, and naturally Yveltal is there with the Resurrect, but it comes at the cost of Gaga now, who couldn't be healed up by the Mercy during that fight. Jinmu getting good damage, but he's up against 2 support players, and even with that big biotic grenade connection by Monk, the Hunters come out of that fight with absolutely nothing.
It's only one fight, but I want to see them play the ball with the Sombra again.
Jinmu wants to get into an aggressive barrage spot now, and Nano Boost there. He's looking for the big kill. He gets Bird Ring. Will that be enough? Well, if that wasn't, then probably the kill of Shu is going to help. The Dragon Strike also thrown in there, and the Hunters get to reap their reward, Matthew, for a fantastic defense. They don't have to...
Gets out of the point. The Gladiators get control of this area first.
So how does Bird Ring have high impact? Oh, God. Oh, God! Oh, as soon as I get his name in my mouth, over the edge he goes. Shu also falling there to that concussive blast. Well, I was going to ask you, Matthew, is how does he have impact on this McCree here? What does he need to do? It's not in a resible position for Yveltal. A little too risky for that. Oh, that's a pulse. Oh, that's a beautiful one. Catching the Mercy. Takes Gaga awfully low here. Kevster will be hacked, but he just sits behind Muse's shield here. And Kevster trying to fight back here for the Gladiators. It's already 44% for the Hunters on the point. Here's an EMP, though. That catches only space, but it's enough to get him desuited, even with the Immortality field. But that'll be all.
Oh, and a Valkyrie used here by Yveltal towards the end. I mean, maybe they thought they were going to be able to win through that.
Kevster hunting. He'd love to find Monk. Pressure that Ana would be good. Jinmu, though, finds first blood in this fight. Getting Shu first is big. Getting Bird Ring second is even better. A rally for Skewed. Okay. He trots out onto the point. He's able to get rid of Late Young, and Monk is down. Kevster was looking for him that entire time. Now we have a 4v4, but Skewed is one of the best Briggs to ever do it. Stunning work there from the Gladiators. They lose their Baptiste and McCree at the start of the fight. That's ridiculous. We'll be looking for Mayhem. He knows that sleep dart, surely. Yep. He knows where Monk is. Now it's the dance of death. Monk has to buy the grenade himself. Kevster only has eyes for the Ana. Still there's enough time for Jinmu with the extra durability to go in and find 2 kills. Again, the whole backline falls to him. With Lee going off the ball on this Sombra pick, man, Jinmu is doing a hell of a lot of heavy lifting for Chengdu.
He is. It's just how many fights can you just give up? So you're going to have 100%, 99% here on the point, and now for Chengdu.
Oh, that's huge. That was Kevster's time. He had to make the difference there. Shu is actually EMP'd, so no Immortality field for the time being, but the rally keeps him topped up. He's hailing hard. He's ready to party. The Gladiators have the players on the point now, and Monk is removed. The Hunters had a chance to win that round there, Matt, but they've given it up, and now it's looking scary for them.
They gave up both supports yet again. Like I mentioned, you're not, if you don't peel back.
There it is!
Yeah, as they're not able to get back.
They've lost the initiative here, Matt, but they can retake here.
Yes, I mean, look at the pressure that Monk is under, though. I mean, Kevster yet again with another kill onto the back line. Chengdu looks a bit flustered right now.
This is the team that flusters, not gets flustered. Space and Mini Diva there. No, all right, Bird Ring here. Oh, Jinmu's absolutely ruined. Gaga gets flashed as well. The 180 turnaround from Bird Ring. I said he had to come alive here, and I tell you what, he's doing his job on McCree. Supercharger in play for Muse here, and Space is going to get away. It's all going right for the Gladiators. It's meant to be. And they will advance to the upper bracket matchup against the Atlanta Reign. This time around, Matt, it's the Western region flying high early in our Countdown Cup tournament.
Such a close series, though. You know, Chengdu showed at times.